welcome back to Major Discussions. It has been a minute since we've been on the air for all you, but as always, I'm Fega Khaturetsky, and I'm here with my co-host, Melinda Brancato.
We're back, baby. Let's get rolling. Tonight, we've got Maddie Durant from Off the Clock sitting down with us.
Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
Going great, going great.
We're so excited to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be here.
We got a couple new set things going on. I know your show has a great set design as well.
We're working on it, you know.
You guys painted your clock on air.
We painted the clock. It's color blocked. It's very interesting. I think, you know, I don't think anyone was really expecting it to turn out like that, but you get what you get.
There's beauty in surprises.
That's true.
Yeah. But again, like I said, we're so excited to have you on the show. I know you since I've joined WTOP. Yes. I've known you since my freshman year. But let's have our audience get to know you as well. So if you want to tell us a little about yourself, like where you're from, all that jazz.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Maddie. I'm from Schenectady, New York, if anyone knows where that is, little town outside of it called Scotia. Let's see, what else about me? I'm a junior. My major is, should I tell them my major? Is that
Go
a surprise?
ahead.
Yeah. Okay, my major is public relations, and then I have a second major in American studies. And let's see, in my free time, I enjoy crocheting and playing with my dog.
Yay.
Yay.
Crocheting is so interesting.
It really is. I like showing people how to do it because they just look at me like I'm some sort of wizard, and I'm like, nah, it's not that hard. It just takes practice.
It does to people. It looks like that to people who don't know how. Like
That's
I don't know how to
true.
crochet, and it looks so cool.
I'm definitely not crafty.
I'll teach you guys. I taught Off the Clock. I mean, I can.
Really?
Sounds like fun.
Major Discussions learns how to crochet.
That would be good.
So you're a public relations major and you're studying American studies, but is that where you started?
Definitely not where I
on?
started.
No.
So yeah, I came in actually with just the one major. I originally was broadcasting, and that was it. And then, you know, it started to kind of switch over to public relations, and that I was doing WTOP, and I was realizing that I was having a lot of fun with it, but I just realized I couldn't see myself doing it for the rest of my life. And my dad always says to me, he's like, you have to love what you're doing, because you're going to be doing this for, I mean, you don't even know how long. It could be 30, 40, 50 years. And so you have to pick something you're passionate about. And so when I wasn't feeling like super passionate about broadcasting, and at least in front of the camera, I thought, well, maybe I could do something related to it. And then I switched to public relations and met this wonderful speaker named Dresden Engel. She came to one of my classes, and she actually presented last night, yeah.
Yes, it was last night.
Yes, Melinda was there with me. I don't know if you were there, Faye. I don't know, but it was
the PRL 318 event planning class with Kathleen White.
Yes.
They threw an event with Dresden Engel, who is a PR professional, and she had a lot of wisdom to share. Connect with her on LinkedIn if you just look up her name. She's great.
Oh yeah, but she was such a dynamic speaker in my class, and I walked out and it was like, oh my God, that's it. Like, it felt like a moment of clarity, you know. But you know, the change, it wasn't a drastic one, which I think also helped a lot, because you have majors. Sometimes you'll go from something like broadcasting to maybe something in the sciences, but this was very similar. So you've got, you know, the same exact thing pretty much. A lot of the same courses applied, so it was a pretty smooth transition.
It's nice when everything's related, and
it is.
So it doesn't feel like it's a complete 180, because I know I did the opposite, where it was sciences to media and production, and that was like a mind boggle. But since you've been taking these classes, do you think that you've kind of started looking at things in like a different lens? I know when I like watch commercials or listen to ads, I'm like, there's some corporate social responsibility in there.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We love the CSR. No, I think you're definitely right, because you learn about all these things, and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, it all makes sense. You can see why. You can see the why behind things, which I find to be very interesting, because I love to analyze kind of just how humans act and like why they do that certain thing, which is, it's just a little fun hobby, you know. But definitely I think when you watch the commercials, or when you look at anything, especially like statements that a company will put out, like the recent thing with Adidas and Kanye West, we have been studying that in my classes, and it has been so interesting, because it's like you're getting to learn all the drama, but the science behind the drama. So,
yeah, it's like all those, the who, what, where, why, and how of a situation are so important when you're writing things, when you're examining them, like you said with Kanye West and Adidas thing. Different PR situations are fascinating to take a look at.
Oh, they are,
so,
for sure.
And within PR, do you see a specific area that you see yourself pursuing, or are you still trying to figure that out?
I think in some ways I'm still trying to figure it out. I was thinking maybe media relations, honestly, because I had started off as broadcasting, and it was something that I enjoyed. So I think, yeah, working closely with the media maybe, just because I have that insider understanding of it.
Could you explain what media relations is?
Yeah, so media relations basically is when public relations professionals work directly with the media to get their message to consumers or target audiences or whoever it might be. So they will basically work with television news anchors or journalists or print journalists. They'll use, I mean, sometimes social media, I guess it kind of fits into media relations, but it's just another way to reach the public, but you got to go through that one extra step.
Yeah, so it's a lot of press release writing and then examining those and kind of filtering out, like,
Oh, yeah.
is this news? Do I want to send this to a reporter? Whose audience is this going to best benefit?
For sure. You're kind of filtering it. You filter it a little bit.
It's a lot of fun.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I love media relations, especially I know I work here at the broadcasting station as well. Granted, I'm doing more social media management stuff with that, so it's a different aspect, but like you said, it all ties in. But those are some really interesting responses. For those of you at home, you're watching Media Discussions, so stay tuned.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I think you could build a house here with how many bricks are being laid in this game.
That is a rapid nosedive, and it is at the point of no return, guys.
Up to Dobson at the point. The cross-ice pass comes to Parise, who's going to extend the lead to 3, but the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're not going down without a fight. Puck loose, out in front of net.
Welcome back to the best show on WTOP. I'm your host, Miss Meg Trivia. And I'm Donna B.
We start things off in the pool as 4 members of the Oswego women's swimming and diving team have earned all SUNYAC honors. Oh, finally got that old music back. Welcome live inside the Outrigger studio for the newest episode of Sports.
welcome back. Melinda and I are here with Maddie. Before the break, Mel and I talked about the different areas of media that have interested you as a student and to carry with you into your future career. So WTOP has definitely been a part of this journey, and would you mind touching on that?
Yeah, definitely. So WTOP was basically the first media org that I joined when I was here, or the only media org that I've joined, but the first organization that I joined. And I think a lot of that was why I actually chose Oswego, because I wanted to do broadcasting, and so I was looking at all the programs, and it was like Oswego has such a hands-on program with TOP, and it's like you can join it as a freshman too, which was such a big factor in choosing to come here. And I really loved that, and so I just, you know, from the minute I took the tour to the minute I stepped in the studio, I think it was pretty great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I know TOP isn't the only thing that you're involved with on campus, so what other things have you done?
Right, well, most recently I am, I've been an intern at Career Services. I'm still doing that position right now. So I do promotions there, which kind of ties into the public relations, but I think it's been a really great experience, just kind of learning about, you know, what services we have to offer our students. And students, there are a lot. Please come visit us at Career Services. We would love to have you. But yeah, so that's been a big learning experience. I've been doing a lot of graphic designing through Canva and just learning about social media platforms. So I've been having a really great time with that.
Canva's amazing.
Canva's the most amazing invention, I swear. Can't live without it.
Mm-hmm. So how about outside of school? What things have you been involved with there?
Yeah, so I do a little bit of running. I did running in high school, but my main focus now is probably crocheting, which I have my little small business, so that's been pretty fun to just kind of try and expand on that and to learn about that.
What's that called?
It's called Pasta and Porcelain. So
Pasta and Porcelain. How did you come up with that name?
You know, it's interesting because pasta I thought was really simple, right? And then porcelain is something that people think of as like this big elegant thing. So simplicity is elegant. which is
that's
what I
so
like to
cool.
think. Thank you. No one really
I love
gets
that
it though.
idea.
Okay,
But
yeah.
you have
but-
the opportunity to explain it.
I
That's
just
true.
I
That's
pinpointed
true.
the alliteration, and that's something that really pleases me.
I loved
me
it.
too.
I
I
spent
love
so many
alliteration.
times just like laying in bed, like, oh, what to name this thing? What to name this thing? And finally, it came to me. I was like, bam, sat up and made the account.
Yes.
Nice.
So-
I mean, you're talking about all of these things that you're doing. I mean, your own business. That's a really big venture to kind of take on.
It is.
And again, these are all positive things. But what are some challenges that you've maybe faced along the way?
Right. Well, I mean, every college student has a lot of challenges, but I think personally, the biggest one would be my anxiety, because I know last year it kind of got just to a really bad point, and so it was hard to just get up in the mornings and like get going. But, you kind of just take it day by day, right? And you learn and you go forward with it. But I'd say, yeah, the anxiety, the schoolwork. I mean, of course, everyone has a ton of schoolwork, especially like this week and the coming weeks. But yeah, it's all been a balancing act.
Yeah, taking things as they come is probably one of
For
the
sure.
most challenging things to do.
Oh, I think you're totally right about that. It's hard to let yourself go and just say, you can't focus on the future. You can't look that far ahead, at least not in the negative sense. But yeah, that's been the biggest challenge.
And building off of that, how have you found yourself overcoming these challenges? What tools have you used that you can recommend to others, perhaps?
Right. Well, I would say use your support system, definitely. My family was a big part in helping me try and just manage everything like that. So, my family, my friends, I say use that. Use a planner. That is my other piece of advice. Use a planner. Write it down. I know a lot of people like the Google Calendar, but I like to write it down personally because you get satisfaction. You go cross, and then it looks so much better when the page is like all full of scratches. It looks a little stressful to some people, but I tend to like that. So
Yeah, there's something like oddly satisfying about having
it really is.
Not having the giant list, that can feel really daunting, but like when you see the giant list done, it's like, I did it.
Yeah.
You feel so
I'm
accomplished,
awesome.
and then that recharges you for next week.
Exactly.
You're like, okay, I did last week, I got this week too.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
I know, like you said, I mean, writing things down is very helpful. I've talked about Google Calendar, but writing things down, there's like science behind it too. It's like you remember things more when you write it down.
Yes,
so.
that's why I handwrite notes in all of my classes. Yeah.
So, okay, we're going to jump to a lighter note.
Oh boy.
You were actually on our crew for season 1 of Major
I
Discussions.
was. Little fun
right?
fact
So
there.
this is kind of dipping back into your experiences here at TOP, but
Yes.
what were your experiences over at
it's
Major
me.
Discussions? I mean, I know, there we have it. You are
I forgot about
one
that.
of our cameras.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was so much fun having you on the crew, but I want to hear from you. Like, what was your experience here? Maybe some behind the scenes things people don't realize.
Yeah, I mean, I really loved it. I was camera 3, as y'all can see. So I moved the camera from there to there and there sometimes.
Yeah.
It was a great It was a great
You got like a
role.
nice money shot of Faye.
I did. I got the perfect shot of Faye. I learned how to focus the camera first on your face, which was a great thing. So,
I know, I move around too much before.
it's okay. I do the same thing. I just noticed I've been like talking with my hands, like, whoo. So,
Yeah.
it
didn't
happens
make
to
your
all of
life
us.
easy.
No, it's okay. It's, you learn with something that is hard, and then everything else is easy in comparison. It was my first crew position, I think, actually. So that was, I improved a lot since then, I would say.
Yeah, that's really great. So what other crew positions have you taken on since,
Oh boy, let's
because
see.
you're not on our show anymore. I mean, you are as a guest.
That's true. I know I did the Sanasa show, which was the women's run production last semester. I think it was camera 1 for that. One of the cameras.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure, but that was a pretty great experience too.
That's great. And now, because Off the Clock, if you touch a little bit more on that, that's
Definitely.
Also an all-women's show, right?
It is, yeah. We had kind of taken the idea of the Sanasa show and translated it to Off the Clock. We of course switched the name and a lot of the elements of it to make it more our own, but we had seen what Meg and Donna had done the previous semester, and we just kind of thought, well, we don't want to let this die out, because I think it's such a great thing to have women's empowerment in this industry, because women need to learn to speak up, which is something that I've been working on a lot, just learning how to say, how to advocate for myself, basically.
Right.
Advocating
So-
for yourself, and then and I'm very guilty of this, is saying sorry all the time and knowing when not to say sorry.
Yeah.
The other day, I noticed that my friend was like, "Why are you apologizing?" And I was like, "Sorry." And I was like, "Oh, did I just apologize for apologizing?" He's like,
All the
"Stop."
time.
And like, working on the crew myself, I know the atmosphere in general, being around all females all the time, I have so much fun. I mean, I do audio for the show. As a host and as one of the producers, how do you feel the environment is?
I feel the environment is very welcoming. Honestly, it's one of those shows where you can just walk in and you fit right in. Like I did not know a couple of the girls that when I was going into this season, but I feel like we've all just become really close.
Yeah.
And it's just something about working together on a production like that and just putting in the teamwork that makes everything great. And so I think there's been a lot of that. It's just, yeah, really welcoming and really, really great.
I agree, and I think it's really fun when you can walk into an environment and it's been created for you. Like like you said, I didn't know everybody who was on our crew initially, but now I've become really great friends with a lot of the girls.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be forever grateful for that. And I think you guys carrying on the all-women's crew has been really important. Like you said, Meg and Donna, you know, they had started that out, and it was Sanaza, and it was like, let's go to 2000s, low-rise jeans and Ugg boots and everything else.
That was the time.
and, you know, now you've really made it your own.
It's really important to carve out that space for yourself. And you're watching Major Discussions. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we have some major fun up ahead.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back. As always, I'm Melinda. I'm here with Faye and Maddie, our guest for this week. So for today's game, we have PR Panic. Two public relations majors, might as well go for it. So this is a what would you do styled game. Our assistant producer, Jacob Bradley, has come up with fake scenarios on possible PR situations, and as media professionals, we have to try to come up with a way to solve these situations.
This should be interesting.
It will be
This
interesting.
game always scares me because right now, last time I was just with one PR major. I'm sitting here with two PR majors.
No.
I am not a PR major.
You know, I'm a new PR major.
But here's the
It makes
thing.
you feel any better.
Here's the thing. You are a
Broadcasting
broadcaster.
business.
Everybody needs PR. Whether you think you do or you don't, you always need PR because even if you're in like STEM, you're branding yourself as a person. How you act and how you go. Sorry, I go on tangents. Anyway, so again, these are scenarios we have not seen previously. We're going to read our first one. You run a website for a major company. The website is hacked and is flooded with links and pictures of corn on the cob. One of your frequent website visitors files a public complaint saying he was offended that it wasn't a picture of cottage cheese instead. What do you do? So first of all, taking a look at this.
You know, I feel like corn on the cob isn't really a problem. I think that's great.
I would say, do you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I could take this one first, for sure. What would you do? First of all, I would probably issue a public statement also because, I mean, you've got this person who's filing a public complaint. I don't know if he did that legally or if he just posted it on Twitter.
It's just online.
Okay, just on Twitter, cool. That's, you know, you gotta come back with it and just be like, I'm so sorry, we were hacked, because transparency is very important in PR. You have to be authentic. And if you just explain the situation, hopefully that person will realize that you did not intentionally put pictures of corn on the cob on your website.
I would take this and I would run with it. So typically
really?
those big corporations have social media platforms. And you want to know what song is trending on TikTok?
The corn song.
It's corn.
I was just thinking, I'm
It's
like,
corn.
why not just use it to your brand?
So I would take this and I would make a TikTok about it. I mean, we'd release a statement first, right, as the company, and be like, you know, our website's been hacked, you know, unfortunately, whatever. I would say them being concerned that cottage cheese isn't posted on there, corn wasn't supposed to be posted on there initially anyway. So maybe we, in that statement, kind of put like, our system has been hacked, obviously, and then the images of corn or any other food was never intended. But then, you know, you take it and you gotta make it funny or try to monetize on it in some way.
That's a good idea. Good point. That's a good point. See, I'm learning from you. I learn every day from you.
Yeah.
It's exciting. All right, we have our next scenario. And Faye, you're gonna start out with this one.
Sure.
An outside company writes a news story about one of your vice presidents. The article claimed that the vice president stole one of the big carnival toys from a 6-year-old at the state fair. The vice president vehemently denies this claim, saying there is no proof. However, the article has attracted almost 50,000 total hits. What do you do?
Wow.
It's loaded, huh?
Yeah. I don't even know where to start.
Maybe we should have given you the corn one. I didn't know this was coming, eh?
We haven't seen these previously, so I don't.
That's tough.
Do you want to phone a friend?
Yeah, I'm phoning a friend.
Okay, so an outside company writes a news story. So this essentially, if it truly is unfounded claims, again, you got to make a statement. This could be a defamation lawsuit.
It could.
So you could take this to court and go from there.
That's true.
Maddie, what are your thoughts?
I feel like you would definitely need to do some sort of investigation into that, though, because if you are going to file a defamation lawsuit, that's got some weight behind it. So you want to make sure. Because I mean, if someone says that about you, of course you're going to deny it, right?
Right.
I was just thinking, what's the proof like? Do we have a video? Of
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that's a good question.
It's just word of mouth. Like, where is what's the proof like?
So yeah, so essentially this opposite company is now slandering your company and your VP. So the VP could file a personal defamation lawsuit, and then the company as a whole could file a lawsuit. Again, they would have to conduct an internal investigation. They would release a statement at some point once this investigation has been conducted. And those next steps would really determine what happens next. I think I think that's really interesting.
I think if it comes out that it really did happen.
If it did happen, then those actions are different.
Yes.
Then you release a statement, and you might have an internal board review, and that VP might not be working there anymore.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, if you're really just stealing kids from 6-year-olds.
Yeah, and I think,
stealing kids?
I think
stealing toys.
Toys.
That would be a loss.
If you're stealing
That would
kids,
be a
then you're in
criminal
jail.
issue.
So,
yeah,
different scenario
thinking,
entirely.
I was like, even if the VP maybe isn't working there anymore, you'd want to do something related to that. Maybe donate more toys to a charity for kids. Something
That
like
would be
this.
corporate social responsibility. I like where your head's at.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that would be a really nice way to turn that around. Yeah.
Our next scenario.
Next one.
You're the head of a PR for WMEL TV. Hey, that's me, Mel. In Washington. One of your main anchors forgets to switch from his real account to his burner account, where he claims that the TV station needs to feature more of him. He is consistently called out on your Twitter and Instagram for his mistake, with people claiming that he should be reprimanded. How do you handle the situation from your own social media standpoint? Okay. So this is main anchors forgets to switch from his real account to his burner account.
Oh boy.
He would, realistically,
he'd probably just be
he
fired.
would probably be fired.
Yeah,
this is a fireable offense.
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing. This is a fake scenario, but I know of a real scenario where somebody was on social media and they were playing a game with their friends.
Oh boy.
And they tweeted something out on their professional account rather than their personal account. And they did get fired for it. And because the tweet was politically motivated and made like a threat, police showed up.
Oh,
so like this could be, depending, I mean, granted, he's asking for more screen time. And so now they're going to be blowing up the account. This person would get fired, and the station would have to make a statement.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know in the real world if there's any other way that you could put that, because you know, they're making your brand look bad. You got to cut ties.
Unfortunately, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You got to be really careful on social media, especially when you run multiple accounts. I know. I should also mention that our assistant producer is my boss, so all of these answers that I'm making, This is like a test.
Yes.
Am I good at my job?
I think you're
We'll
passing.
see.
I think you're passing.
All right.
Yeah, we have another one.
We have our final scenario for tonight. The Twitter account at @IMakeJokes tweets a promotion about your company. You then retweet that tweet. The next day, the same Twitter account tweets out, "I hate Scott Brubaker," to a very pro-Scott Brubaker demographic. What do you do? Scott Brubaker, for context, we all love Scott Brubaker.
We do love Scott.
He has his show, The Break, on Monday nights, which you should all check out. Airs at 9:30 p.m. every other week. And he also helps produce news around here. And he's also a social media coordinator, so he works with me and he works with Jacob. Anyway, so we love Scott Brubaker, but if this were to happen, this wouldn't be very ideal. I think you'd have to, you could be sassy with this. I think you could run with it. I think that if, I'm trying to think. So think about those fast food accounts where they have like joking banter with each other. Then I think this could be something sassy that we could go with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What do you think?
You know, I think we could, honestly. I think it doesn't seem politically motivated. I don't know what Scott Brubaker is in this, situation. If he is like, he's just okay. Jacob says he's a fan favorite. Love it. So I mean, it would be. I guess it would be akin to something like, I don't know, the Kardashians or whatever. But it's all, that's all opinion. I think.
Are you responsible for the other things that the same account would post, even if you're not retweeting that one?
That's the other thing. You should say,
so
maybe you could say something like, we don't align ourselves with this particular brand.
Brand association. So indirectly, by retweeting that tweet, you're giving some kind of
credibility?
Yes, thank you for the word, credibility to that other account. So you really got to be careful what you're retweeting, what you're reposting, what you're even liking on your page, because people can see that. Even if you hide it, sometimes, I don't know, things get missed, people see things. Got to be really careful.
I've seen some really funny ones.
Yeah.
I've seen some really, really funny ones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I think with that, first of all, I want to say for the record, we love Scott Brubaker.
We do.
Yes.
We would never retweet something like that.
He's an actual fan favorite.
We would never retweet something like that. But if we were to, we'd probably have to flip this into something sassy and try to make a joke out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if a public statement would be necessary.
It depends, I guess.
Yeah. Social media is
it depends.
indirectly a public statement, not necessarily a press release.
It is.
That's our show, folks. We hope you had as much fun as we did. Thank you so much to Maddie for joining us here tonight.
You can.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
I think you could build a house here with how many bricks are being laid in this game.
That is a rapid nosedive, and it is at the point of no return, guys.